the question is combinations. Okay, statement is given two integers n and k, return all possible combinations of k numbers out of the range 1 comma n. You may return the answer in any order. Okay, look at the first test case. We have n is equal to 4 and k is equal to 2. What they mean is we have to make the arrangements or combinations of k elements. Means here k is 2, means here the one arrangement will consist of 2 elements. Okay, and how many possible arrangements are there, how many possible combinations are there of k elements, that we have to return. Okay, now n is 4. What does that mean? That means we have 4 numbers, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Why? Because our range is inclusive 1 comma n, means we can include 1 as well as n. So when n is 4, we have these numbers. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. What does they mean is we have to make all possible combinations. How we will make the combinations? Okay, just go manually. Okay, let us start. If we started from 1, okay, if we took 1, then how many combinations can we make from 1? See, we have to start from the next number. Okay, 1 comma 2, 1 comma 2. Okay, then 1 comma 3, 1 comma 3, then 1 comma 4, right, 1 comma 4. This many combinations are possible with 1. Now let's start from 2. Yeah, if we started from 2, then how many combinations will be possible? 2 comma 3 and 2 comma 4. Okay, we have to see for 3 and 4 if we start from 2. Now let's start from 3. How many combinations are possible with 3? Starting from 3, 3 comma 4. That's it. If we started from 4, there are no numbers after 4, so there will be no combination starting with 4. How we will solve this programmatically? Okay, so let us imagine we have an empty array first. Okay, we have an empty array. So now we have to start. Each time we are going to start, firstly we started from 1, wrote all the combinations starting from 1, then we found all the combinations starting from 2, then we found all the combinations starting from 3, then we found all the combinations starting from 4. Means one by one we are finding the combinations starting from each number, firstly 1, then 2, then 3, right? What does that mean? We will go one by one and we will traverse each element. That means we are using for loop. Okay, remember this thing. Firstly, so what we will do, imagine that firstly if we started and we appended 1 in our array. Okay, we appended 1 in our array as we are starting from 1. Now we will ask the function to give us all the arrangements or all the combinations that are starting from 1. What it will do, it will look at which is the next element after 1. It is 2, so it will append this to 1 comma 2. Now again what we will do, we now have an array of 1 comma 2. Now we will ask how many possible combinations are there with this array, starting this array 1 comma 2. So 3 will be there, so we can also do 1 comma 2 comma 3, but we are not going to do it. Why? Because we are having the condition that we should involve only k elements, and here in our case k is 2, so we can take only 2 elements, so we will return from here. As soon as we get 2 elements in our array, we will return. Okay, remember this thing also. So now we made one combination 1 comma 2. Now we will make 1 comma 3 and we will make 1 comma 4 as I explained earlier, right? These are the possible combinations. After that we are going to return, right, because the k elements have been fulfilled. So now we are here at 1. Now what we have to do, we have to remove this 1, and instead of 1 we will start now from 2. Okay, so we will pop this one out and we will append again what, 2, and we will start from 2. How many possible combinations are with 2? 2 comma 3. Then what we'll do, we will pop this 3 and involve 4 instead of 3, so it will be 2 comma 4, right? Now we will start from 3. We have popped this 2 and involved or appended 3 instead of this 2, and we are seeing the combinations starting from 3, that are 3 comma 4, and there is no possible combination starting from 4. Why? Because there are no elements after 4. Okay, so this will return from here itself. So this much possible combinations are there. Okay, here also they are written. Okay, so now we will see the coding part. How can we do this? Initially we have to return one base condition. What will be the base condition? That if the length of our array, or if we have k elements fulfilled, then we will return. Like here we got 2 elements, we returned. So every array will be of 2 elements, and as soon as we get this array of 2 elements, we will append it in one variable called as our result, and finally we will return that result. So how can we do it? Let us see in the coding part. Now we will see the coding part. We will make one variable, one array as result. So we are going to return this list of all the combinations. We will make one function called as BackTrack, which will take an empty array as an argument and one variable. We will call it as current number. Now we will write our base case, that if len of array becomes equal to k, means if we have the combination that is having k elements in the array, so what we are going to do, we are going to append it into the result. We are going to make further changes in array, that's why we are appending the copy of array instead of array directly, and we will return after appending. We have to check the combination starting from each element, initially 1, then 2, then 3. So what we are going to do, we are going to write one for loop. It will be from current number to last number, that is n. Okay, what will be current number? Initially current number will be 1, so we are going to check the combinations for 1 comma 2, 1 comma 3, 1 comma 4. If the current number is 2, then we are going to check for 2 comma 3, 2 comma 4. So likewise we are going to check. So what is the next thing, that if we are checking for 1, then we have to append that 1 into the array. So array dot append 1, then not 1, start, because after 1 we are going to call the function, we are going to check the combinations for 2, then for 3. That's why we are appending start in the array. Then for checking the combinations starting from this start variable, what we are going to do, we are calling the function BackTrack. This will give us all the combinations that are starting from this variable start. Are you getting? Means initially combinations starting from 1, then combinations starting from 2. So initially start will be 1, then start will be 2. This is how it will work. Now BackTrack array comma start plus 1. We are calling the BackTrack function for array containing one element, and then we are going to move to the next element. That's why we have done here start plus 1. Okay, after that what we will do, if we checked all the possible combinations that are starting from 1, then what we will do, we'll pop this 1, this last element that we checked now from the array, and instead of that element, so if we popped 1, then what will happen, this for loop will run for the next element. So it will append 2, it will get all the combinations starting from 2, then it will pop the 2, then it will append 3, then this function will give us all the possible combinations starting from 3, then it will pop 3, and then for loop will continue for 4, then 4 will be appended, then the function will be called for all the elements after 4, but there are no elements after 4, then finally it is going to pop 4 also, and now the for loop will also vanish because it is on 4, and after for loop vanishes it is going to return none, right? So this is how our function will complete, and finally we have to call this function. Initially we will give it an empty array for combinations, and we are going to find the combinations starting from 1 initially, then it will keep running for 2, for 3, whatever, until n. And these combinations will be stored in our array. So finally what we will do, we will return our result, right? The array's copy is being stored in result, right? So finally our result is something that contains all the possible combinations, and we are going to return it. Okay, this is running fine, so we'll submit it. Yeah, it is running good, right? If you have any doubts regarding this, then ask in the comment section. Focus more on the recursion part. Just learn how to solve the problems instead of focusing on just one problem, because if you learn the algorithms, then you can use the same algorithm for so many different problems. Okay.